I have two more things I want to show you guys. The first one is Ctrl+D to duplicate. I'm going to make a picket fence, okay? Don't worry about everything I'm doing right now. I'm just going to really quickly make one picket for my picket fence. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to start making repeating patterns of objects much more quickly and easily. And that's by using something called duplicate, okay? So if I take my one piece of picket fence I have right here and I select it and I either press this button, duplicate and repeat, or you can see the keyboard shortcut in green right there, Ctrl+D. If I hit Ctrl+D, this thing will flash when I hit Ctrl+D. Watch. Okay, it just flashed. And now I can move it over to the side. And by the way, I'm using my arrow keys to move this because it's a lot more accurate than grabbing it, okay? Using the arrow keys is just way easier. So if you use your arrow keys, I'm just hitting the arrow key to go to the right a few times, and there we go. I've got my next piece of picket fence where I want it. Now watch this. I don't click off of this. I keep it selected. I haven't touched it besides to move it. And now if I just keep hitting Ctrl+D or I keep pressing this button, look, I can make more and more pieces of my picket fence, and they all line up perfectly in a row. No having to create it over and over, no having to hit copy and paste and then try to move it to the perfect spot forever, right? This duplicate, just hitting duplicate over and over, puts them all in a line. So it just makes your life a lot easier to duplicate things like that and to know about that shortcut, okay? The last thing I want to show you guys today is the Align tool. Let's pretend like, whoops, I messed this all up and everything is kind of off and away from each other. If you select more than one thing at a time, I click this one or I draw a box, a selection box, and to do that, I'm just clicking an empty space and drawing a box, and the selection box touches these two things. I can hit the Align button. Some of these buttons show up, okay, when I do that. There's an Align button right here. And the shortcut for Align is not A, it's L, Align, all right? So I press L, and look, do you see all these dots that just showed up? This is the Align tool. And so watch what I can do with this. What the Align tool does is it lines things up perfectly to be right smack in the center of each other. So if I click on like the side here, and then I click on this middle one again, they line right up perfectly with each other. And I know now that they are both in each other's middles. If I clicked on this on accident, they would go to the middle in the vertical axis, up and down, right? So look, now they're accidentally smashed together in the center, up and down. I didn't want to do that, so let me hit undo. But that's the Align tool. It lets you line things up and make sure that they're perfect. We can probably do the same thing with the star and the house, so let's try this. Hitting the Align tool, and let's see. If I actually click on the house, then the house won't move and just the star will. So let me hit this, and then maybe this one. It kind of buries it in the house. But, you know, it's still, I know and can be confident right now that it's right in the middle of the house. So now if I can just click the star by itself, I can use my arrow key to just move it forward a little bit so it's sticking back out of the house. So that's the Align tool. It lines things up perfectly, and it makes sure that things are nice and clean for you. You know, if I brought out a whole bunch of different shapes and I want them all to be in a nice straight line, let me go ahead, and I'm zoomed way out, and I go ahead and draw a selection box around them. I'm making sure not to touch the house. I select just these, and I hit L for Align. Here come these dots again, and if I click this one right in the center, bam, they're all in a perfect straight line, all centered up with each other. Okay, so it's a very quick and easy way to make sure that your design can all be nice and clean. I can also smash them together like this, and I can even smash them together from top to bottom. And there we go. And now we know they're all in the exact center of each other. That's kind of ugly, but hopefully you see what the Align tool does and what it's good for. All right, you've learned using Ctrl+D to duplicate things and using the Align tool to line things up. Hopefully you can start to make much more clean designs, and you can do things a little bit more easily. All right, talk to you later.